Welcome back, everyone, to Talking Markets. I'm here with Brian. Brian, how's it going?
Good, man. Good catching up as always. The altcoin
Yeah,
frenzy has been quite a sight to behold, and I'm looking forward to talking about it with you.
yeah, it has. So, when we're just taking a look at the market, just, the overview, we can see in the top 100, projects, we can see Cake really taking off in the past week with it up, close to 93%, in the past 7 days. So it's absolutely crazy. It's really just a sea of green, honestly. The entire market really in the top, 200, 300, everything is going up, a lot. So it's really crazy to see that the market is, starting to pick up again, ultimately, with Cake leading the way in the top 100. Um, Now, when we're taking a look at the top, 10 projects, we can see that XRP, is up 22% in the past 7 days. And to see, a project within the top 10 moving up 22% in the past 7 days is, not necessarily unheard of, but it's definitely not uncommon. So to see that is absolutely crazy. For the XRP army is just so strong, honestly. So it looks pretty good, overall for the market. When we're taking a look
Yeah.
at Bitcoin, one thing I wanted to talk about was, on last Monday, we can see this massive, jump in price. And ultimately, this was from fake news of, I believe it was Cointelegraph who, made a tweet, basically just tweeting out that the SEC approved a spot Bitcoin ETF, which apparently was fake news and wasn't validated. But originally I was kind of expecting that this was going to be like a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event, but actually the market kind of, thought the opposite. They actually bought into that news, which I thought was rather interesting. I don't know if you thought the same, Brian, but I'm sure a lot of other people were probably expecting maybe the market to do something in reverse,
Yeah.
for this news. But it looks really promising, though, that a lot of people were speculating that the market was going to react like this and they weren't going, the price of Bitcoin wasn't going to go up with the news of, approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF. But in reality, that's what happened. That's how the market reacted. So ultimately, it's going to be really interesting to see how the market reacts to the true news of, an actual spot Bitcoin ETF getting, hopefully, fingers crossed, approved. In the past month as well, when we're taking a look at Bitcoin, it's awesome to see that it's up 24%. And ultimately, it looks like the crypto market is just having, a lot of closure after, a bunch of, bad actors in the space like FTX and, SafeMoon. So ultimately, it looks like, crypto is starting to pick up again, which is honestly great. And then lastly, in other news, there is Elon Musk's AI platform, which is, I believe it's called Grok or Grook, I've heard also. And it looks like there is now 400 crypto tokens which are inspired by it. So just be careful, guys, for different scam projects related to that because it's actually, not related to the actual project. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
saw this headline too, Trevor, and I'm curious. It's okay if you're not completely up to speed on the news because I'm not either, but I saw the headline this morning and I'm curious how those tokens were inspired exactly. Was it kind of suggested by the AI and then people would create it? Was it based on the technology and people would genuinely get inspired? It's hard to know.
Yeah, I saw there was a lot of different scam people basically just trying to make a quick buck off of it, and then
Hmm.
also some projects getting created by the AI too. So it's kind of a mix, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see when a new technology comes out and suddenly you have a whole uh, kind of basket of new coins coming out of the blue. And undoubtedly, a few of them are going to emerge. I mean, just like some of the meme coins of the past, we always seem to have a few that climb up the ranks really quickly. I know Harry Obama, uh, Sonic,
In you. Yeah.
yeah, all those words. They're really doing well, and part of it is the fact that they grabbed the ticker Bitcoin, which is bringing in unsuspecting traders thinking they're investing in Bitcoin. Like, there's so many creative, clever. I don't know if you'd call it a scam as much as just a very interesting way to market your project to the masses that can sometimes
Yeah.
work very effectively.
Yeah.
All right, so we've had obviously a pretty positive um, market-wide market cap gain in the crypto sector, and it's been powered by, from what I've seen, a lot of large and mid caps. Trevor, as you mentioned, XRP has really done well just in the last 24 hours. Actually, I saw Cardano go on a run. Chainlink has been a big notable asset that has climbed. It's currently up to $12.60, which is essentially double what it was about 2 months ago. Um, and then there's just a lot of projects that the masses have not really thought about in a while that are suddenly seeing very large rises. Injective is up 120% in the last 30 days. Uh, Everyone's favorite polarizing asset out there, Hex, whether you hate it or love it, it's up 155% in the past month. Unlimited IP is the most notable one and has really climbed the ranks. It's in the top 30 market cap assets now, up 310% just in the past month. So tons of different emerging projects out there. Obviously, Bitcoin itself is up 25%, reaching as high as what I saw was 35.2 to 35.3K in that range within the past week, where it's now sitting. It's at 34.9K. So basically, Bitcoin is hanging out. It's staying flat as other projects are benefiting off of the profits that are being moved from Bitcoin to altcoins, which is often the pattern we see. It goes stable coins get accumulated, stable coins get moved into Bitcoin, Bitcoin gets moved into altcoins get moved into really speculative greed centric coins, and then markets crash and then rinse and repeat. That is generally the pattern we've seen for over a decade now. Not as easy as simply counting 1, 2, 3, 4 every time, but the basic concept is still very much at play. And when you see a big Bitcoin pump like you did at the end of October specifically, that greatly increases the probability of altcoins having their turn next, and that's what we're seeing now. So prices are off the charts, not literally, but they are very much pumping to a degree we have not seen since March of this year. And before that, it was really 2021, because 2022 was just a dud of a year for crypto all around. And naturally, you're going to see a lot of FOMO and more euphoria coming into the markets right now. And I want to show a few key metrics for Bitcoin specifically, because that gives us the lay of the land of how people are feeling about crypto. I'll start with this. This is just an accumulation slash dump indication of what the key stakeholders are doing for both Bitcoin and Tether. And it's actually not as pretty as you may expect. There's quite a bit of dumping going on, especially right at the point back on October 22nd when Bitcoin really had liftoff and got up to about 34K. It kept climbing a little bit, but you can see how whales and sharks are just taking a little bit off the top as prices have been pumping. And naturally, your hope is that when you see Bitcoin pumping, if there is profit taking in Bitcoin, they're at least holding it in Tether or other top stablecoins, and that has not been the case. It looks like stablecoins are also being dumped by the sharks and whales. So, at least at Santiment, we're seeing that there are some caution flags now that this could be a bit of a bull trap. It doesn't mean this is the end of the run. We could, for all we know, go all the way to 40K, even beyond, before there's a sizable correction. But based on probability and history, we have to be a bit careful now when Bitcoin's just kind of staying flat. All the altcoins are pumping right and left, especially the more speculative ones, and new coins are coming out to try to take advantage of unsuspecting and unknowledgeable and novice traders out there. So that's a bit of a worry, but it's not, definitive, right? We've seen prices pump without Bitcoin and stablecoins being accumulated by sharks and whales. It just happens a lot less often. We can also see the social dominance here. This is what I'm talking about with sentiment. Generally, the lower this is, the more people are talking about speculative assets, meme coins, Harry Obama, Shiba Inu, all of that stuff. And up until basically the initial stages of the pump, there was a lot of talk about Bitcoin. And then you can see how Bitcoin gradually just kept climbing, and Bitcoin was talked about less and less as altcoins were talked about more and more. And that is a sign of greed. So there is some euphoria going on, and we can look at the funding rates as well that show that Bitcoin is seeing a ton of longs right now. There's open interest climbing for BTC, Ethereum, all of the top assets really. And this is what a lot of projects look like right now. Just lots of leveraged longs, people assuming that we're going to be continuing to climb, and that decreases the chances of that happening. You can see that in most cases, when you see the shorting going on, that's actually when bottoms are most prevalent. And right now, we're not really seeing any notable shorts. For the most part, it looks like longs are the name of the game right now. And then when we scroll over to social trends, as you can see, our Halloween spider, this is a promo that's still going on now, crawling across our screen. We have all sorts of random words going on. It doesn't look like, at least in the top 3 or so, we have Dave Ramsey discussion that's really leading the way. Hong Kong, which is actually a good crypto piece of news. Our AI report is saying that Hong Kong's considering allowing retail access to spot exchange traded funds that directly invest in crypto. That's great news. Obviously, Hong Kong was, especially back in the day, I remember in 2016 and 17, it was getting a lot of trading volume coming from that small area. And if Asian countries and areas on the other side of the world from where we are begin to have more accessibility and freedom and legality to trade, it can only help. So I definitely recommend you guys check out our hourly trends, our midterm trends here, where you can compare, ETF mentions bull market versus bear market. You can see that there's just a little bit of an uptick right now in bull market, whereas not a lot of people are talking about bear market. That's another caution flag. So you guys sort of see the idea right now. We're definitely concerned with some of the euphoric signals and other mildly bearish signals that are going on right now. Doesn't mean it's the end of this run, but it means that it's around the corner. And lastly, you can of course check out the trending tokens here as well, where we can see Ethereum is really being discussed a lot. RPL, which is a pretty obscure asset, it's being discussed in relation to Rocket Pool, a protocol that allows users to stake their Ethereum and earn rewards. You can see XRP, of course, here at number 3, mainly due to the big pump more than anything. Monero, Stellar, Dogecoin. There's Bitcoin at number 7. So it is actually being discussed at a decent frequency. It's just being overshadowed by huge altcoin euphoria right now. But that's basically it. There's a lot of interesting things going on in the markets right now, and I can't wait to see how November shapes up, since October ended up being such a positive month and kind of a relief for a lot of traders who were losing hope.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments if you guys think this is a bull trap, or if this is actually going to be the future, if we're going to 40K right now, right? Let us know in the comments. I think we'll be talking pretty soon, Brian, for more updates. That's it for today.
You bet. Thanks so much, Trevor. Thanks for watching,
Hey
everybody.
guys.
Talk soon.